friends, it's week 2 of the 20-day New Year Decluttering Challenge. So let's see what I decluttered this week. For today's organizational challenge, I'm going to be tackling the entryway. It is time for the Christmas decorations to come down and for all of this to be reorganized so I can fit things in here better and I can do something with the winter hats and gloves. So when I bring you back, this will be all cleaned up and reorganized. So here it is, all reorganized. Now I didn't really get rid of a whole lot. I just put things away that had been accumulating here. I reorganized my canned goods because we've been using them, and so I moved some off of this top shelf down here, and I just have this tea towel that my friend Carolyn sent me covering them to keep them from getting dusty. And then I moved the dog food in here. I've switched the dogs over to this canned kind. The other kind I was buying was just getting to be too expensive. So I can get this through Chewy.com, and it's delivered directly to my door. This is not a sponsored video. I'm just telling you, if you have pets, try out Chewy.com. It's pretty neat the way they do that. So anyway, I was needing a spot to keep the dog food because I get it by the case now. And so I cleaned off this shelf so that the dog food could fit there. And then down here is just some of my home canned goods, like I was saying. This is a wax melt that I always have out here. Living on a farm with lots of animals, and this is where our muck boots and stuff are. You need something to keep the air smelling good in this entryway, trust me. Then on here on this little refrigerator, I just took down my little Christmas tree, and in this basket I put the hats and gloves that we use every day when we go outside to do chores. This is just a little propane tank that Travis uses to burn the trash. And then that's my canner, that's where it lives. And then there's some dog biscuits for the outside dogs. Now the only other thing I did differently in here is I moved my little Pillsbury Doughboy lights from the dining room out here. I was wanting to find some place permanent to put them, and I realized when I had that little Christmas tree out here how nice it was to have like a night light out in this entryway. So now the Doughboys are going to be my little night light in the entryway. Well, I'm really glad that's done. It wasn't hard, didn't take a lot of time, and like I said, there wasn't anything I really got rid of. It's just a matter of reorganizing. So that's my decluttering for today. For today's cleaning challenge, I am going to be cleaning out underneath the kitchen sink. Oh boy, this is always the worst. Alright, so here it is all straightened up. This is my compost bucket, which is full. Travis needs to get it taken out. And then this is what we keep our eggshells in. And when this gets full, I bake them in the oven. And then we can use them in the garden or feed them back to the chickens. And then back behind there are just things I don't use very often, but I don't want to get rid of. Down here we have my gloves I like to use when I'm cleaning nasty things or working with raw meat. This container has all my dusting cloths and cleaning sponges in it. Baking soda for cleaning purposes, not cooking. And then these are my wet wipes for the floor, for my Swiffer. And then in this basket are just various cleaners that I use. I don't use them daily, but I use them whenever I need them. And then this is just a heavy-duty all-purpose cleaner and soap refills for our hand soap. And then of course there's the dish drainer, but since we have a dishwasher, we don't use that too often, but we use it enough that I don't want to get rid of it. So here are the things that I'm going to be getting rid of. These are just garbage, empty packages and things that I don't even know how got shoved under there. So I'm just going to throw those things away. This is just a Santa soap dispenser that I keep forgetting about because it's shoved under there. So I'm going to stick it with my Christmas decorations when I put Christmas away so that I know that I have it, that I remember I have it. And then these are just some cleaning products that I didn't really like, and so I'm just going to dispose of them in a proper manner, whether it be dump them down the sink or whatever I need to do. So that's what I got rid of out of that cabinet. And that is my decluttering challenge for today. For today's declutter challenge, I am going to be cleaning out this cupboard. It is what I call my pasta cupboard, obviously because I keep pasta up there. I do keep some other things too, but this definitely needs to be cleaned out. So I will bring you back when I have this all completely cleaned out and I'll show you what it looks like. So here it is, nice and tidy. Let me show you what I got in here. I just have some boxed like spices and instant rice and that kind of stuff over here, but I need to use these up. This is just full of my individual muffin in a mug bags. Just throw this in a cup, add the wet ingredients, and I'll have a muffin in a mug. That's from Trim Healthy Mama. This is some of my stuffing mix that I made. I made a huge batch of it a while ago, and it's okay. I don't know, it's not our favorite, but we will use it up. Over here we have our popcorn and various popcorn salts, and this is just regular salt that I use for baking and different things. And then we've got vinegar and other various vinegars back there. And on this bottom shelf I have my electric knife with its blade. I use that for lots of different things. I have my stevia, liquid stevia here, some empty, they're canning jars, but I don't use them for canning. I use them for other things, leftovers and different things like that. Back there is my zoodle, zucchini noodle maker. There's nothing there. This container has my rice in it, and then these are just jar opener things. And then this is all the various pastas over here on this side. So let me show you what I'm getting rid of. Now these aren't things that I'm necessarily getting rid of, they're just things that got shoved in this cabinet and I'm going to be putting them back where they belong. This is just some extra salt, 2 different kinds of extra salt. I'm just going to put those in with my spices. These empty jars here are just various jars from jelly, and I like to keep these and make fruit fly traps out of them in the summertime. So I'm just going to stick these underneath the kitchen sink. This is a turkey-sized oven bag. This mason jar and lids, those just need to be put away in a different spot. This jar was an old spaghetti jar, but I really like it, and I like to use it for other things. So I may end up sticking that back up in that cupboard because that's a good spot for it. This is another lid to one of my Nutri Ninja cups, so I'm going to be putting that away. And then this is a tortilla press for making homemade tortillas. I don't use it very often, but I don't want to get rid of it. So I'm going to put this up somewhere where I know where it's at, but it's not something that's going to be in my way every single day. All right, that was my decluttering video for today. For today's decluttering challenge, I want to get these 3 cabinets decluttered. They're in the bottom of my beautiful hutch in my basement. This isn't a huge decluttering job, and I don't know how much of this I'm actually going to get rid of, but I am very tired, and this is all I really feel like dealing with today for this decluttering challenge. And yeah, I had a bad night last night. I didn't sleep very well. I don't know why that is, but sometimes that happens to me. So I'm going to pull all this stuff out. I'm going to dust these shelves, and then I'm going to decide what needs to go back in and what's going to go to Goodwill, because some of this stuff, honestly, I have never ever used, and it's really silly to hang on to something that you're never going to use. So let's get going. So here it is, all cleaned up, and as usual I need to apologize for the lighting down here in my basement. It is what it is, and I can't do anything about it. Maybe someday I will own one of those ring lights or something to use for my videos, but until then I just have to do the best I can. These are just various dishes and things that I have gotten for wedding presents. They've been passed down to me from my mother, from my mother-in-law, things I bought from the thrift store and the antique store. These are all things that I actually still use, candles, and whatnot. And so I really just want to hang on to these because, you know, sometimes you need really pretty dishes for special occasions, and although you don't use them very often, you want to have them available to use if you need them. But let me show you what I am going to part with. Okay, so here are some of the things that I'm going to be parting with. These are just various candles that I burned, and they just didn't impress me that much. And so I've had them for a really long time, and I'm just going to get rid of them because I'm tired of hanging on to them. So I'm just going to put them in the recycling. This is lids from candles. I don't even know where they came from. An empty box. That's all just going to be in the garbage. This is one of those banana hooks, and quite honestly, we have so many bananas that we buy that I don't use this, so I use a bowl instead. This was a punch bowl that honestly I didn't even know. I can't even remember, but it broke. The adhesive came loose somehow, and I don't have any memory of that. So that's how long ago this happened. So I've got all the pieces here. I'm going to give this to Goodwill, and someone who knows how to fix glass can repair that and then enjoy it. This is just a punch ladle. It's just cheap plastic. I had it for a themed party years and years ago, and I don't need it anymore. These are some different, like Christmas, they're just plastic cookie trays and things that honestly I'm not going to be using anymore, so I'm going to pass those on, as well as this spoon rest and this little candy dish. I'm not going to need those, so I'm going to give those to someone else to enjoy. This is a topper that goes on the top of a candle. It's falling apart, and this is another thing that just needs some glue, but I never use it, so I'll probably have Olivia glue it together, and then we'll just give that to Goodwill. And then this pan, I have never once used it. I don't remember where it came from, and I don't ever use it, so I'm going to pass that along to somebody who can use it. So that is what I decluttered out of my hutch, more than I actually thought I was going to get rid of. And that's another decluttering task done.
I'm glad I chose something easy today because, like I said, I'm really tired.
For today's decluttering challenge, I am going to be doing these 3 cabinets in my kitchen. They're above my stove. I call them my spice cabinets. And this last one has a lot of my baking goods in there. And it has just become a total disastrous mess after all the baking I did over the holidays, and when you use something every day, it just gets to be a mess. So this is too big of a job for me to video even at fast pace. So I'm going to put you down and I'm going to get this all cleaned out, washed, shelves washed down, everything gone through and reorganized. And when I have it all done, I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like. Okay, so here it is all done. And honestly, I didn't have to really throw much of anything away. Everything was still in date. Everything is things I still use. I just reorganized. These are all the spices I use almost on a daily basis when I'm cooking. I make my own homemade taco seasoning, so that's all of the ingredients for that. I keep spares on hand because we do eat a lot of tacos type things around here. Here's all of my vanilla extracts and other flavorings. Baking soda, baking powder. I moved my flour over here. It was over there, but I figured I would put it over here closer to the rest of my baking supplies. And then these are like baking seasonings. Cinnamon, cloves, ginger, that kind of stuff. And then over here we have, you know, self-explanatory things for baking. So let me show you now what I am getting rid of. The only thing that I'm actually going to be throwing away that's kind of wasteful is this Vital Wheat Gluten. It expired in 2016 and I haven't used it, so chances are very good I won't. So I'm going to throw that away. The rest of these are just empties. They're things that I didn't realize I had duplicates of, so I combined them into one container. Or if I had a partial container, I, you know, added the 2 together. Or if I had a Tupperware container, like for the cornstarch, I had a Tupperware container up there labeled for cornstarch, and it was empty. And I had these 2 cans of cornstarch up there. So, like silly things like that. This was almost all gone, so I just added it to another full jar. And the saddest thing of all is my Mexican vanilla is all gone. I'm keeping this bottle just so I can smell it. It just smells so good. And I'm actually going to go on Amazon and see if they have it. It'd probably be really expensive, but I'm going to look. A friend of mine brought this back when she went to Mexico on vacation, and I have loved it. It's the best vanilla I have ever used. It's like perfume. I could wear it like perfume. It makes me happy just to smell the bottle. All right, friends, that is my decluttering for today. So that was the end of week 2 of my decluttering challenge. I hope that you've been finding this helpful, and I'm certainly decluttering things that I've been putting off for a really long time, and so I'm really glad I decided to do this challenge. Like I've said before, if you want to do this challenge, feel free to do it. You don't have to do the exact same things that I'm decluttering. You can fit it to your home and to what you need to do. So just let me know if you decide to declutter something in your home, even if you don't make a video. We'll talk to you later, friends, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.